Hi guys. Welcome. How are you guys doing? Woo! You guys sold this thing out. Oh my god. Give it up for yourselves. You guys really love Asian people. That's amazing. I'm so happy you all are here for AAPI Month. Happy AAPI Month, everyone. I see some Asians in the crowd. I'm so glad you guys are here. It's our month. My name's Tanya. I'm the founder of Spice Up. And do we have anyone who's been to a Spice Up event before here? Just one of you? Oh, yeah, just my parents and Ryan. Hi. That's okay. I'll explain it to you. So we technically started in 2019. You heard that right. I started an events-based business right before the pandemic. So we've had several iterations of what Spice Up is, and so typically what we do and what we still do is we host events where I have a chef and I interview them and people have a 3-course meal. That's a different type of event. But since I started doing those, I've since become a comedian. So you all are experiencing this version of Spice Up called Spice Up Eats. This is the first time I'm doing it live. I'm so happy you all are here to experience it. It's going to be very fun. Yeah. So we're going to have a chef interview later. That's where me and another comedian will be talking to Tofu Louie. You all might have met him already. But we are going to have we're going to have 6 other comedians. But yeah, what'd you all think of the spam musubi? Yeah? You're wearing a spam shirt?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have been to the Spam Museum in Austin, Minnesota.
You're kidding. I didn't know that existed.
Right.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
They give you hors d'oeuvres of all the 20 different spams and all that as you walk in.
Wow.
Yes.
You win. I don't know what you
Spam
win.
level, you need to go.
You're the most Asian person here. Congrats. That's amazing. Wow. But yeah, you all liked it. It's very good. It's very good. But I do have to say, and I'm sorry, Eric, for what I'm about to say, I have a white friend who heard we sold out the event, and he was surprised because he's like, people are going to want to eat vegan spam musubi? He thought it was too ethnic. I know. He didn't know what spam was, musubi was, or veganism. So... But yeah, I decided at my next events for all the white folks, I'm just gonna have chicken nuggets and fries for you guys. So. But yeah, real quick also, I just want to tell you about our next events, and I'll tell you at the end too, but just so you can jot it down. Y'all are gonna be so tired from laughing from all the comedians, I'll tell you now. Our next event is gonna be on July 18th, and then on September 6th, we're gonna be officially a part of the Columbus Comedy Festival, so. You're gonna want to be there, but I'll do like a drop for those tickets a month in advance, so I'd love for you all to be there. On your seats, there was a paper with the QR codes, and tickets to a free car, just kidding. But I would love for all of you to sign up for our email list to keep up with our events, as well as fill out the survey that always helps us learn for our next event. And I'm gonna be choosing a lucky person. I'll give them free tickets to our next event. And if enough people sign up, I'll do it based off percentage. I could give like 5 tickets away if enough of you fill that out. So please do it. Thank you. I'm gonna stop yelling at you now. But yeah, of the 6 comedians, I'm one of them. So I'd love to tell you all a little bit about myself. I know that I look like a really tan Italian-American woman from New Jersey. But I am in fact Indian. Yes, thank you. And surprise, Indians are part of Asia. So we celebrate AAPI Month too. We really do. But there is discussion about whether Indians are Asian or not. I'm sure you've heard of it. Back in middle school, people would talk about it. A lot of people think this, including other Indian people. Yeah, like my parents specifically didn't learn that we were Asian until I wrote this joke. So. They're older, so they're like, are you sure it's not AARP month? That'd be more valuable to us. I did have to explain to them that there are 2 types of Asians in the world, okay, Mom and Dad? There are noodle Asians And we are curry Asians, all right? And we all celebrate AAPI month, and we're united in the fact that people of European descent have to eat our food with a direct line of sight to a bathroom. And also AAPI month is complicated because Asia is such a huge continent. And so I just have to ask, does anyone have Russian descent? Any Russian descent? Hey, happy AAPI month to you too. You count also. But no, I've had friends all throughout my life tell me like, hey, it's really cool that you have such a bright and vibrant culture. I'm jealous. It's so cool that you're Indian. And I'm like, it's only been cool to be Asian for 30 seconds, right? I didn't even know what AAPI month was until I was 25. I'm in my 30s, and so it was a long time ago. And like, we didn't have festivals or celebrations when I was younger, no parades. Like, the only time a group of Asians got together in my high school was for AP Calculus. So yeah, we're lucky, all right. I am glad to see a lot of Asian people here. Makes me very happy to see you supporting each other, supporting us. Thank you so much. But I am surprised, I am a little surprised. Because Asian people, we do come out and we support our own, we do. Unless it's an Asian in the arts. Like, we might not have medical degrees, but we do have another type of MD, major depression, okay? You need us here too. But yeah, we Asian people, they really do react to like a discount. And so I had given, they do, I know, you all can relate. You can relate. I had given, like no Asian people bought tickets within the first 3 weeks, I'll just say that. I can tell, I looked at your names. But, and my parents took a long time to buy tickets too. And then I gave all the comedians a promo code to give their parents so that they could buy a ticket too. And then literally within 2 seconds, they all bought tickets. Crazy, my parents included, hi. My parents said I could make fun of them, that's okay, right? Yes? All right, sounds good. So here's 10 jokes about my parents. No. But I do want to say they are big collectors. They're big collectors of things. Some people call them like knickknacks or tchotchkes. I call it hoarding. Like growing up, they like to collect lots of things like products and paper, and they just like keep it in their homes. Like when we were younger, I swear to God, we were drowning in 8 miles of CVS receipts. And my mom, she has 3 fridges. Yeah, yes, you get it. And sees 0 therapists. Honestly, I think maybe she'll go see a therapist if I find a promo code for her. You know? But the other week, I went home, they're from Akron, and I went home to go see them, and I went through her fridge, and I saw a bottle of pasta sauce from, drumroll, 1998. 1998. Yeah. Like, the cultures in that bottle were so old they could remember 9/11. My parents, a lot of people when you grow up, you have like inspirational figures like that your parents tell you to look, that you could be one day, right? I asked my friends who those were for them, and they're like, you know, Serena Williams, Michael Jordan. Well, in our house, they were like, you could one day be like Gandhi. You could liberate India too. And that's just a little weird. It's just a little weird because he's a civil rights leader. It's a little strange. It's like, it's as if like white folks in the room, if you went home and you were afraid to tell your parents that you got a C, and they were like, ooh, you know who would have aced this test? Harvey Milk. Is anyone here in an interracial relationship? A couple of you? Yeah, you two are. Hi. I just gotta ask you two, did you have to get over any cultural differences, either of you, when dating?
Not really. We dove into
Both grew up big Catholic families.
Big
So a lot in
Catholic.
common.
There was
Oh,
comments. So,
okay.
yeah, we threw each other into everybody's big family like pretty much right away, and we survived.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I always forget about Catholic Asians. I always Christian Asians. I'll meet
Category number 4.
number 4. I'll meet an Indian woman named Maria, and I'm like, what? But yeah, no. But anyway, so you guys, you love the spam shirt. I get it.
No, I threw her into my 90th, my grandmother's 90th birthday with all my relatives and cousins and everything. I threw her into that. She survived.
Oh wow. Okay, you survived. Congrats.
Survived.
They approved.
I figured that was a good sign.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're basically Asian at that point. Yeah. Congrats. I will say I'm dating a white man. He's an Irish Catholic man, so I understand a little bit. And I will say one of the first observations I had of him and his family is that, wow, they eat a lot of gravy. We have to buy a lot of sunscreen now. What's going on? But anyways, so sometimes we talk about having kids. We talk about it sometimes. And it's really interesting because in my family, someone in my generation is supposed to have twins. Yeah, it's really special. My dad was a twin, and so either of my siblings could have had twins, but they're done having kids. And so everyone's looking at us. And so I just want to say, me and my boyfriend, we've been trying recently, as hard as we can to not have kids. Twins in this economy? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, someone has to break this generational curse, okay? And it's us. But yeah, we also don't want to get married, and I know that's a little strange, but we do not want to get married. Thank you so much. We don't want to get married, and it's mostly because everyone in my family has had an arranged marriage, and we're trying to stay arranged out of one, right? And logistically, it wouldn't make sense, right? Like, I don't have a cow to give him. But if my parents force me to get an arranged marriage, I will have a cow. That's a fun idiom. Thank you so much. We don't want to get married. We do not want to get married, and that upsets a lot of people in our life, mostly all our white friends. And so I just want to say to all the white people in the room, I understand why you'd want to go to our weddings, the food and the culture, but I have this to say to you. When you all wear Indian clothes, you look so dumb. So dumb. So dumb and as out of place as J.D. Vance at his own Indian wedding, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. We all know he was eating chicken nuggets and fries at his wedding. Are you guys having a good time? Let's keep this energy up. I'm going to bring up the next comedian. He goes to OSU. That's so Asian of him to be doing comedy and going to school at the same time. He's hilarious. He participates in the group Buckeye Comedy Club. You can check him out. He's performed all across town, and he was in the Columbus Comedy Festival last year. He's so funny. Please give a very warm welcome to Haikal Rosaidi.
Thank you. This is for my parole officer. I gotta put this on. Hi.
Hey.
I'm having some issues. Performance issues. Fuck this shit, dude. Hi. Are you alone?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just.
Checking out
I love how you're just a white guy trying to clearly pick up Asian chicks here, and there's I literally see no single Asian chick, so I'm the closest to a single Asian chick. So you kind of have my bucks. How you doing, ladies? How you doing? Yeah, I feel like white people have too many parents. I was talking to my friend James, who was like, yeah, I got a dad, a mom, 2 stepmoms, 3 godmothers. I was like, dude, your dad's kind of a slut, okay? That's why I'm worried about marrying a white. I'm not really worried, ladies. That's why I'm worried about marrying a white. That's a lot of in-laws to impress, you know? Some guys are like, ooh, I don't want to marry a girl with kids. I'm like, dude, I don't want to marry a girl with parents, alright? My type, orphans. Yeah. Any of you guys orphans?
No!
Alright. Not interested. Don't call me back. Call me later. I'm from Malaysia, you know. It's a Muslim country. It's not the name of Trump's wife or whatever you think it is. Yeah, Malaysia, it's a Muslim country, right? Which basically means that here in America, if you smoke weed, you get stoned, right? But back home in Malaysia, if you smoke weed, you get stoned. So and my mom's, you know, she's back in Malaysia, you know, she misses me a lot. It's kind of scary, right? I swear, this lady wants me to go back to Malaysia more than ice sometimes. It's like, she's like, Michael, you gotta go back to Malaysia, leave America. You don't belong, go back to your country. I'm a relaxed proud boy, like, okay. She's like, if I can't abort you, I can deport you. I'm like, Mom, I have papers in America and in your uterus, so Thank you, sir. Don't call ICE. But yeah, I'm first generation, which means I have no family in America. You know, I told my dad I was doing comedy. He was like, I also have no family in America. I was like, yeah, it's fun like see my American friends complain about their dads. You know, it's nothing, honestly. They're like, if I borrow $50 from my dad, he will lose his shit. I'm like, dude, if I borrow 50 USD from my dad, he will lose his house, dude. He's like, my dad has never put me on a yacht. I'm like, my dad put me in a boat when he fucking sent me here, right? So also, like, Malaysia, it's a hot country, you know, we don't really have summer, winter, spring, all that. So when I first came here, some guy asked me what my favorite season was, and I was like, season 5 of Breaking Bad, is that something? You guys are more Better Call Saul fans. But yeah, also like being an immigrant, you meet a lot of like ignorant people, you know. I met this one Southern guy who was like, yeah man, you gotta go back to your country, man. My daddy done built this country on the back of his hand. And I'm like, dude, the way you speak English, you should be the one getting deported, okay? He's like, they don't speak our language. And I'm like, dude, you can't speak your language. He's like, they came here illegally. I'm like, you were born from incest, you came here illegally, alright? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just graduated from Ohio State. I was in that one computer science frat. Delta Dry Pussy, you guys ever? You're good. But yeah, I remember like this one time I had a group partner send me an email, and I wanted to write awesome work, but it was late, you know. I don't want to be an asshole, so I scheduled sent it for 8:15 the following morning. But when I woke up, apparently he had sent an email prior to my scheduled email. So now it just reads, sorry, can't make the meeting, my dad just passed.
Oh.
8:15, awesome work. And all I could think to write was, your dad sounds like a great man. But it was late. I don't want to be an asshole, you know. I scheduled sent it for 8:15 the following morning, and when I woke up, now it just reads, the funeral is conflicting. My dad left me and my mom when I was just 9. 8:15. Your dad sounded like a great man. Sent from my iPhone. I have an Android. I just put that to look cool, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I have like bad acne, as you can tell, you know. I was telling my friend, I was like, dude, I fucking hate my skin. He was like, cheer up, buddy. It's not so tough being brown. I like how old. Are you Asian?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I like how only the Asians laugh and the white guys are like, no, dude. Okay. He was my friend. No. Yeah, I feel like also Americans, you guys have like a lot of slogans. It's confusing. Like, anyone else ever confused? Never again and never forget. I got in trouble. My friend was talking about 9/11. I was like, oh, never again. He was like, dude, it's never forget. I was like, okay, never forget, but I guess we can do it again. That's such dumb logic, because by that logic, I guess you can just forget the Holocaust. It's like, yeah, never again, but also, what happened the first time? Alright. But yeah, I am Muslim. That is a horrible transition from the 9/11 joke. I am Muslim. I can't have premarital sex. Sorry, ladies. But I'm Muslim, you know, I can't have premarital sex. So right now I'm waiting for marriage. Or for Islam to fall, either or. Wait, I am desperate now. I'm doing this thing called a temporary marriage. That's where you marry someone temporarily, just to have sex. My parents, they're doing a real marriage. That's where you marry someone forever to never have sex again. Are you guys married?
Yes.
Is that true?
No.
I like how not your wife answered for you. But yeah, temporary marriages vary, you know. Some last a week, some last a day. Let's just say my marriages can't last more than 5 seconds, alright? This one time I finished my pants before the girl did anything. Shotgun marriage, anyone? These jokes are not the real me, ladies. Arranged marriages, that's where your parents choose your spouse for you, which is weird. Because they will choose someone they're attracted to, you know? Like, if your dad chose your mom, sorry, your dad did choose your mom. If your dad chose your wife, you'd end up with, hold on. Again, you Americans have too many parents, that's my issue. But if your mom chose your, the logic is somewhere there. If your mom chose your husband, you'd end up with your dad, right?
Okay.
Likewise, if my dad chose my wife, I'd end up with his secretary. So, I was 15 when I caught my dad temporarily marrying his secretary. Divorce was messy. No. Alright, you guys just felt bad for that part. But yeah, you can Google this or Quran this, but in Islam, whichever's your preferred choice of research. But in Islam, it's legal for the wife to divorce the husband if the husband is bad at sex. So there's probably like a court case somewhere where someone's getting divorced. But yeah, like in Islam, the wife can divorce her husband if the husband's bad at sex, right? So there's probably a court case somewhere where the wife just goes, Your Honor, that dick should be illegal. That's why I don't get why Muslim men want 4 wives. That's just 4 more people to testify against you. That's a class action against your dick. I don't get why. Yeah, sometimes I feel like a bad Muslim, or as Muslims call it, a Christian. Yeah, I feel like that joke didn't suck, but just the fucking thing ruined it. Yeah, speaking about sex, my grandpa, he has the big D, dementia, and I feel like talking to my grandpa with dementia is like talking to a douchey frat bro. I'm like, hey Gramps, what's up? He's like, dude. Do I fucking know you? My grandpa's losing a frat guy, like, this is cool. I think it's cool. But the doctors, they think it's Parkinson's. And if you have Parkinson's and are offended by the joke, just shake it off. And I had a guy who was offended, you know, he was like, hey man, I know a guy with dementia. I was like, sorry man, if it makes you feel any better, the guy with dementia doesn't know you. Alright, thanks a lot everyone. Give it up for your lovely host, Tanya Bora.
Keep it going for High Call. Keep it going. asked him to be a part of this show. I was like, you want to be a part of the Asian American Pacific Islander show? He was like, I'm not Asian American. I don't think I could be on the show. But no, he did a great job. Are you all ready for your next 2 comics? So these 2 people are some of my really good friends, and they're hilarious. One of the people is a badass entrepreneur, and the other person teaches Filipino martial arts. So do not mess with her. Please put your left and right hand together and make a ton of noise for Big Guy and Shotgun.
Everybody, what a great host. Happy AAPI month.
Yes.
I see you guys.
Yes, so everybody, I just wanted to introduce you to my bestie, Big Guy, aka Whoa!
Hi, everybody, and I wanted to introduce you to my bestie, Shotgun, aka Thank
you, everyone. So yes, we are 2 brown Asian best friends.
Indeed.
But since we live here in the Midwest, when white people see us, they're like, huh, 2 Mexican sisters.
Yeah, I think it's the ass. Honestly.
It's definitely your ass.
My ass.
Yes. So we get confused. They get us confused for Mexican sisters, or maybe because of our short hair, a lesbian couple.
Yes.
Yeah. But we are married, 2 men.
Yes. Sorry,
Our condolences. Condolences.
ladies. Yeah, but when we are mistaken for lesbian lovers, honestly, we're very flattered. We're not mad about it. Mm-mm.
It's just, it's just an honor to be nominated.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
So, we get confused for lesbian couple, and it gets a lot more confusing when we're with our youngest because they look so much like the both of us.
They do.
Yeah.
So just for some context, our youngest, they're only 6 months apart. They're also besties. We have taught them how to live truly, authentically themselves. Yes. Their names are Riona and Fiona. So that's pretty crazy. We didn't do that on purpose.
Nope.
And together we like to call them the Ionas. Yeah, you guys, they're so cute together. They're adorable. Yeah, but they're a lot of money. They're just really expensive. Yeah, we had to start an OnlyFans site to sell feet pics just to afford our weed habit.
Listen, for those of you who are judging us for that, God forbid moms get a hobby.
Yeah. God forbid. So one time we're together with the Ionas, being cute in a Chipotle in Clintonville, and there's a nice lesbian couple in front of us with their own kids, couple kids, and we're like, we can tell they're kind of looking at us, looking at the kids, and I'm confused, because I'm pretty sure they wanted to ask us what fancy fertility clinic we used. Yeah, because how'd you get matching ones? I mean, they look exactly the same. It's really weird. But no. We wouldn't spend our hard-earned OnlyFans money at a fancy fertility clinic. We would do it the old-fashioned way, with a turkey baster full of sperm. Yeah.
So, besides a lesbian couple, sometimes white people confuse us for being related. And I'm like, guys, that's 2 separate realities,
No.
It's like they see 2 brown Asians in the Midwest and think, They must share a family tree or they're fucking.
Whoa.
But you know, family trees and fucking, that's white people shit. But that's what it's like being Asian in the Midwest. Yeah, so we have pretty weird names.
We sure do,
for
yeah.
the Midwest,
Yeah, so I
honestly.
know, like, when they announced us and I said my name was Wah, I know half the room was like, Wah, how do you spell that, right? Okay, so I'm about to tell you. Are you ready? Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
It's exciting. It is spelled H-O-A.
Again.
H-O-A. Yes. Yes, I did that for you guys because I know how much you guys in the Midwest love to spell shit with your arms. That is helpful, I know.
You're welcome.
Don't forget it later.
And so my name is really easy. It's 2 syllables, it's 4 letters, but I can see the panic in people's faces when they see it. They question everything in life. I can see white people going, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is it Amy?
Oh no.
Is it Emmy? Oh my God, am I racist? And it's like, well, maybe Linda, maybe this is a cute little moment of reflection for
Yes.
you. You know? Yeah. But because sometimes Asian folks just get tired of explaining how to say our name over and over again, we take an American name, kind of like reverse colonization, you know, like, for example, Wa's white girl name is
Lisa.
Yes. That's actually, y'all, that's literally how she said it one time when we were at an Arby's in rural Ohio.
It was fun.
And so I can see that everyone is wondering, well, I mean, what's your white girl name?
What is it? Do you have one?
I don't have one. I like to see the whites panic. It's good for them.
It's
good
so much
for them.
fun to watch too.
Yeah.
From this side, you know, so it's super fun to watch.
So me and Lisa over here, we go way back.
Yep, we sure do. So I will let you know that my mom is a Vietnamese refugee. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes. And my dad, believe it or not, he is from the foothills of southern Ohio. Portsmouth, Ohio, specifically, if anyone knows where that is. So, I like to call myself AAPI Asian. Yes, this is what we look like if you didn't know.
Yeah, so the bestie is Appalachian,
Mm-hmm.
and I am Filipino! Listen, Filipinos
That's right.
love to represent for like no reason. Literally, if you meet someone Filipino, they are culturally obligated to tell you they're Filipino within the first 5 seconds. Yes. So, a few years ago, I was researching the pre-colonial history of the Philippines and wondering why we were colonized by Spain. And it turns out we were colonized, like most of Asia, for our spices,
Ooh, yum.
by people who didn't even use the goddamn spices. I mean, think about it. You're going to travel halfway across the world on a boat, trying to discover the Spice Islands, only to discover, oh my God, garlic powder's so spicy. Right?
It's really too much.
But it's like, listen, if your ancestors did all that work, risked their lives in dysentery, right? I think you can at least try to season your chicken, Linda. Just try. But what they should have colonized us for was our cleanliness.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
so
important.
the Spanish looked at my ancestors and they were like, wonder why they're taking 2 baths a day. And it's like, listen, Linda, it's 100% humidity out here,
Yeah.
okay? This is not like Arizona. It's not a dry heat. Yeah.
It's wet.
Yes. Wet.
It's a wet heat.
Yes. And so yeah, that leads me to, another reason to have 2 baths a day.
Clean pussy.
Exactly. So I think if they had stolen our hygiene practices instead of our spices, we wouldn't have had the bubonic plague, everybody. We wouldn't have that. I mean, they wanted, the Spanish wanted to spread the gospel of Jesus. But instead they could have been spreading the gospel of pussy, I mean, Jesus, okay, but a clean lady chamber, that'll get you a hallelujah every fucking time.
Rob took mine, but amen. So, besides our lovely, delicious spices that us Asians have, another thing that we're known for is our parenting style. Some of us might know that as a tiger mom. Am I right? Strict, wants you to get good grades, all that good stuff. Be president of the world one day, whatever,
Please.
right?
You have to.
So, I promise, exactly like that. So, I promise that if I ever had kids, that I would not be like that. And so, I want to report back that I am getting an A+ in that category. That's right, thousands of years of trauma stops right here. Yes, indeed. So, one day, though, my oldest, they come to me and they're like in their angsty 13-year-old voice, and they're like, "Hey mom, school wanted me to give you this." And I was like, "Oh sweet, they're about to get in trouble." Proud moment for me right here, being a non-tiger mom, right? So I turn it over, and sprawled across the top of it, it said, "Super honor roll, 4.0. I was upset. I had been so busy trying not to be a tiger mom that I accidentally raised a tiger kid.
I'm sorry, Bessie.
I know, they're going to college.
I'm so sorry for your bank account, too. You gotta up those feet pics.
I know.
Yeah, so anyway, but seriously, we really do try to make sure our children have a little bit of a different childhood than we did, and that is a lot of work and a lot of therapy, and sometimes life gives you little gifts for doing that.
Sure
So
does.
Bestie, in 2022, what were you gifted with?
Ooh, I was gifted with a rare form of breast cancer.
Congrats!
Yes. And Amy, what were you gifted with?
Well, around the same time that Bestie here was going under treatment for said rare breast cancer, I got a cute little mental breakdown.
So fun. Yep. This time of our lives, Amy and I like to call it
The Big C and the Little Minty B. The Little Minty B, isn't it?
just a touch of cancer.
Just a little bit.
That's what they kept saying. But don't worry, I'm in remission. I am just out here living my jobless comedian life. What about you, Hines?
Oh, I'm happy to report that my mental health is stable. It's as stable as our economy. So we got that. So anyway, seriously, because of these experiences, we have really learned that life is fucking short. So
Yes.
do the thing, okay? Be your authentic self.
Yes.
those people who love you will love you for who you are.
That's right. That's right. Yes. You guys, yeah. So besides coming out here and hopefully making you laugh tonight, I wanted to start stand up as well, because I want this to be an opportunity to remind everyone to do their monthly breast exams. And to remind those that you love to do the same, because early detection is key.
Yes.
Yes. And so, to end the show, wrap it up, if you guys want to come say hi to us, we have stickers. And you can come say hi, and we will give you our OnlyFans site where you can watch us and with our feet. So pretty.
Sorry, guys. Did you all enjoy their set? Yeah! Quick show of hands. Who here knows why I'm here? Everyone, wow. I do not have that many friends. Well, thank you so much for coming out to support. That means a lot to them and all of us. Yeah, thank you so much. Well, I just want to do another quick reminder. Go ahead and grab drinks from there. Bathroom is there. And yeah, that should be it. But we're going to move on to the next comedian. Are you all ready?
Yeah!
We're going to keep it rolling. More Asian people. The next comedian, he also goes to OSU. So studious. Actually, he just graduated. He runs used to run the Buckeye Stand-Up Club down there. He performs regularly across town here, #, and he was also in the Columbus Comedy Festival last year. Put your left and right hand together for Julian Rogers.
Hey, hello, how are we doing? I just want to unpack this real quick. So Filipino, white, that's like, dude, opposite day. This is crazy. Right, I believe every Filipino is supposed to have a white dad. Right, it's like I'm going over to the Philippines in like 2 weeks, and it's like there's gonna be so many white people there. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to go over to the Philippines. I'm just nervous because I'm gonna let like the whole country down because like I'm 6'3" and I can't dunk. It's like what am I good for at that point? I don't know. I'm half Filipino and I'm half Irish, which makes me the most Catholic man alive. How are we feeling about that new pope? Really good? Bad? Yeah, that's the response most people give. No, but all my friends have been asking me. They're like, "Oh, Julian, what do you think about this new pope?" It's like I don't really know. He's only been there for like a month at this point. It's like it's kind of like on the first when you get a new hire, it's their first day at the job, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think of the new guy?" It's like, "Oh, I know he went to Villanova. I don't know if he can use the copier yet." And all my friends are coming up to me. They're like, "Oh, Julian, I just really wanted a more woke pope. It's like this new pope. He's anti-abortion. He's anti-gay people." And it's like, have you seen the other 200 popes? This guy's like batting average. He's like, I don't know. If you want a woke pope, just become an atheist. I don't know. The Catholic Church is weird though. It's like they want you to remain as pure as possible while also telling you every single way that you could possibly go to hell. Like for example, when I was younger, when I went to church, they taught me what abortion was before I knew how sex worked. And so for the longest time, I thought they were just shooting storks down from out of the sky. It's like, how do they get those hangers up there? No, but I was pro-life when I was younger because I don't know if you guys know this or not. Storks are endangered in the state of Ohio. Guys, I'm not a conservative. I'm just a conservationist. My worst church story ever is that it was our first confession. Basically, you just go into this booth, talk to this old guy so you don't go to hell. For those of you who are Catholic, and I'm in this church, right, and I just realized something. I've never sinned a day before in my life. I'm just too damn perfect. And my parents are like, all right, Julian, just go in there and tell something. Just go lie to him. You know? And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's a sin, but okay. And so I'm walking up to go talk to this guy, and I'm like, think, Julian, think. What's something tiny that you can do? What's something negligible? And this was a week that we learned about the 10 Commandments, by the way. So I'm walking in there. I get into the booth. I'm staring Monsignor Enki right in the eye. And he goes, all right, Julian, what do you want to confess to? And I say, I'm sorry for coveting my neighbor's wife. You know, Monsignor Enki's aware that 8-year-old Julian just admitting to want to have sex with 6-year-old Mrs. Baker. And he's trying to get me out. He's like, Julian, are you sure that's what you want to confess to? And I say yes, and I walk out of there as quick as possible to September. Yeah, no, Catholics I don't like. J.D. Vance. How's that for a transition? I was walking down High Street the other day, and I saw a sticker on a lamppost. It said, J.D. Vance, everyone's least favorite Nazi. I don't like that sticker. Like, I don't like J.D. Vance. Don't get it twisted. Like, I understand why his mom tried to trade him for perks. She wasn't successful. She tried. But, no, it's like, I just don't like the wording of it. Like, everyone's least favorite Nazi? That implies that everyone has a favorite Nazi. Right. You're never going to catch me being like, oh yeah, I hate that J.D. Vance guy, but you gotta admit, Goebbels did have an eye for cinematography. I don't know, I've grown up in Ohio, I'm used to Nazis. In high school, I was on the swim team with a girl, her name was Kendall Hitler. You know, bad, right? Yeah, it's like, that's a bad name now or any year after 1936. So, why did you name your daughter after a Kardashian? No, but Kendall, she was really aware of this name. She decided to go by the nickname Kenny H, which I don't think that's much better. It was always like, oh, Kenny H, what are you doing after school? Kenny H, what are you swimming tonight? Kenny H, what does the H stand for? To make it even worse, her boyfriend at the time, his last name was Trump Power. All right, transition. OSU is hard right now. They're getting rid of the DEI. They got rid of it. It was really weird. It's like, if I knew I was going to be one of the last people at OSU with a DEI scholarship, probably wouldn't have been a film major. It's like, oh, there's going to be so many Asian doctors and engineers down the pipeline. You want to know what we need more of? Asian film distributors. Not the guys who make the movies, the guys who tell the movie theaters, hey, you should keep playing movies. No, but I did do my part. I did go protest it. Like, I went out there, and it was nice because everyone was out there. Like, even a bunch of white people were there. And it's like I could tell that because nobody at that rally could clap on beat. It's like, guys, they're trying to defund our music school. You're making it look like we never had one. I don't know. Doing film distribution is fun. Recently, I got to go down to Tennessee for that. I was on my bus ride home, and it was crazy. Everyone on my bus was Amish. And that was nice because I knew I could sleep without the fear of my laptop getting stolen. But the weirdest part about it is that there was a black Amish guy on my bus. Whereas, like, he had the haircut and everything, and the whole time in my mind, I'm just going, this has to be the worst witness protection program ever. It's like there was a cop that was like, all right, you need to get away from people. You want to get to the middle of nowhere, you want to look completely differently, and you want to be offline. Quick question, what do you think about churning butter? No, it's nice. I got to go to New York for work too. New York is weird. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but all of their CVS pharmacies up there, they're all called Dwayne Reed, and I thought that was just a guy. It's like, because the first time I heard about Dwayne Reed, I was walking with my friend Emma, and she said, oh, I gotta go pick up Adderall from Dwayne Reed later. I was like, okay, that's cool that you're on a first and last name basis with the dealer. It's a blue state, I get it. I don't know, whenever I talk to my dealer, I always call him sir. It's more of a respect thing than anything else. It's like whenever I go see him, it's like, hello, sir, I would love some Xanax if it wouldn't bother you at all. It really feels like a job interview. It's like, if it wouldn't inconvenience you, I would love to meet with you again to talk about this. I don't know. Coming back from New York was weird, though. I went to LaGuardia Airport, and you don't... Ooh. All right, yeah. I was at LaGuardia. Yeah, that's it. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. All right. This is fun. Yeah, I don't know where that joke went. All right, let's go to this next joke. I realized recently that I'm anti-suicide awareness. It's like my life was a whole lot better before I knew I could kill myself. Like, I used to have a bad day, I'd go home and just go to bed. But then in middle school, they're like, hey, we want to warn you that people are committing suicide. And it's like, oh, we have options? Yeah. And now every time I have a bad day, I just go home and I Google, easy knots for beginners. All right. Let's do this new one. So at OSU, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about this yet, but my freshman year roommate, he was Brutus Buckeye, or he was a serial killer. I'm really not sure. They're a lot more similar when you think about it, because like, I don't know, serial killers and mascots, they're like the same thing. Like he always carried like a huge duffel bag around with him everywhere. It's like sometimes he'd just show up in the middle of the night super sweaty. One time he'd call me on the phone and he's like, hey, check the newspaper tomorrow morning. And he instantly hung up. I was like, I gotta find the clues. And the next morning it's like, OSU going to the Rose Bowl. And it's like, put it on my pin board. I think that means I can invite my girlfriend over this weekend? I don't know. The worst thing that ever happened once is that he was walking out with his duffel bag and a glove fell out of it. And I was like, oh, here's your glove back. And he was like, thank you, Julian. You can't tell anyone about this. You know how mascots are supposed to talk? And I was texting him the other day just to see if he was cool with me doing this joke, you know, because it's a secretive thing. And I was like, oh, Nick, are you okay with me talking about this on stage? And he was like, yeah, just don't use my name. And I was like, all right, Nick Nelson, don't worry. Do not worry at all. I don't know. I got to get out of here, but I got a real quick joke. You guys like impressions?
Yeah.
All right. So for this next joke, with everything going on right now, this is a joke that I wrote for pilots. So in your head, I need you guys to all imagine me as a pilot. Does everyone have that? Does everyone have that in their head? All right. These are jokes I would tell if I were a pilot. So I haven't said it yet. Slow down. Taxi! I thought this was a plane. All right, that's the end of pilot jokes. God bless everyone at Newark Airport. And give it up to your host, Tanya Bora.
I'll bring this. Y'all like podcasts?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone? Unfortunately. You have free will. We're figuring out the lapel, and I think it's okay to bring people up. Yes? People have to? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to bring up the first person. He's going to be our headliner, so I am going to be introducing him twice. It's going to be fine, everyone. He comes from the land of Michigan, okay? All right, calm down. We can invite them to our state sometimes. He comes from Michigan. He's a very funny comedian. He's open for and worked with people like Sam Talent and Gianmarco Scorsese, if you've heard of those comedians. They're famous and very, very funny. He's gonna come and talk to us with the chef, so please come to the stage, Johnny Mockney. And then now I'm going to bring our chef for the night, the guy who made the delicious vegan spam musubi that you all tried. I've been working with him for a while. He was one of our first events in 2019 when we first started Spice Up. So it's just very cool that this is coming full circle and we've remained friends. He makes food and drops it off at Global Gallery in Porsches all across town, and he participates in the Vegan Festival every year. Please welcome to the stage the very talented Eric Ma, aka Tofu Louie. You want to sit in the middle? We're going to figure this out. All right. So, I'm going to act like this is the opening of a podcast. I'm going to introduce this in a second. I'm going to maybe reintroduce you guys. Is that okay? I'm sorry. We've never done this before. So I'm going to look at the camera and introduce the segment because we're going to post this after. And then I'm going to just like say your names. I won't do the whole spiel. Is that okay? All right. Cool. You have no choice. All right. Welcome to Spice Up Eats. Let me start over. Welcome to Spice Up Eats, where two comedians and a chef talk food. We're here with two of my friends, a comedian, Johnny Mockney, and a chef, Eric Ma, aka Tofu Louie. So Eric, Johnny and I are going to try this for the first time tonight, and we're going to get our live reaction. But while we do that, could you explain to everyone how you came up with this, how you made it?
Yeah. So I've been vegan for, I don't know, 12 some years. One of the things I miss eating is Spam. Grew up eating Spam, so I made it. Yeah, that's really about it. Tofu's the easiest thing because you just slice it, marinate it, grill it, that's it. So, yeah, not very exciting, but it's good. Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, initial thoughts? Johnny, you're still chewing, so I can say that it rocks. Yeah. You all agree?
Yep.
I've never had anything like this, and as a vegetarian, I've like wished for things like this. But yeah, what do you think?
As a non-vegetarian and a huge Spam enthusiast, it tastes just like Spam, and I hope the Spam lobby hasn't come after you yet. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it rocks. I was curious also the ketchup. Could you explain the ketchup with this? Is that traditional to eat with this?
Yeah, no, and to play along with jokes tonight, it's for the white folks.
Did it for you.
It's about time they have something.
For once. Okay, so we're going to move right on to questions. Thank you to everyone. You gave us questions to ask. And also for the camera, there's a live audience here. Yay! All right, so a lot of people have questions for you specifically before we dive into like other questions. So I was curious if you could tell us about how you got into veganism and how that relates to like your heritage and culture.
It doesn't relate to my heritage and culture at all. My family was really supportive, but they just couldn't understand why I went vegan. Why I went vegan, this is like a stand-up thing, so I don't want to be too serious. But it goes along with the whole, because I run a food truck called Dystopian Food Truck. So it kind of goes along with the whole thing where it's pretty dystopian, like our food system. So that's mainly the reason why I went vegan. And then, yeah, the exploitation, you know. So yeah, that's why. Yeah.
That's okay. I think we're all like 3 seconds away from burning everything down. That's fair. I forgot to ask also, if we could all talk about our cultures. So my parents are Indian, and then could you talk about like Hong Kong and where you grew up?
Yeah, so I was born in Hawaii, but then I lived there for only 3 years, and then we moved to Hong Kong. I lived in the southeast coast. It was like super rural. We didn't have plumbing. We had electricity for some reason, but we didn't have plumbing, and we had to get water from a well and boil it before we did anything with it. I was only there for 5 years, and then I moved here. So I've been here for a minute, but the contrast I still remember pretty much everything from Hong Kong. And I remember one of the first things I did when we moved here. Actually, we came straight to Ohio. Like, I mean, there was stops, but yeah, we settled down in Ohio. But one of the first things I did was I went to the kitchen. I turned on the faucet. I was like, oh shit! I didn't say oh shit because I didn't speak English that well. I was like, damn, we have water. We have running water. So yeah, that's like the gist of it. As in the I guess that's a culture shock or just like living condition shock, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Hong Kong, and then now here in Ohio.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then how about you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm half Thai. My mother came from Thailand when she was 8 years old. I won't embarrass her, but she's here tonight.
Bring her on stage.
Honestly, looking at everyone, there's a quarter chance you'll find her. I guess it's 3/4 chance. We have a good relationship with the food. My mom's owned 2 Thai restaurants. We opened one. We used to live in Corinth, Mississippi, which is a really small town, and we opened one called the Green Mango, and they didn't have a Thai restaurant. Some of them didn't know what Thai food was, and I distinctly remember moving into the building and seeing the building for the first time, and the building had paintings of cats on all the walls, and I was 11 years old. And my mom looks around, she goes, we gotta paint over these cats because these hillbillies are gonna think we're serving them.
That's hilarious. Oh, wow. You didn't tell me that. You grew up in like a restaurant family.
Yeah.
Food, okay.
I worked for free, yeah.
Did anyone else grow up in like a family where your parents were restaurant owners? Yeah. Okay, that's very cool. I was curious, so you said you were the only like Thai restaurant in the area. I noticed there's a thing that happens where like if the local area is not aware of your cultural food, you hop over to another Asian country and sell some of those people's food. You know what I mean? Like I often find like sushi restaurants are owned by Korean people, right? I'm curious, did you have any like dishes up front?
So my favorite thing we served there was called Three's Company. And I would tell people that was my favorite Thai food. And then I think literally today talking to my mom, I found out that's Chinese. So we did do that a bit. But there were the classics. There was, there's like Gapao Mu Kai Dao and, like Pad Thai and stuff. But then, at the end of the day, I did like having like a basket of, crab rangoon, which is just kind of an American, vaguely Asian bastardization. That's also like really good. And so, we dabbled for sure.
Oh my gosh. I'm curious for both of you, are there any foods from your culture that everyone loves but you hate? And I have an answer for this. Are people aware of Indian food here? Yes. Okay. I do not love pani puri. Some of you are confused, I think. We live in Columbus where there aren't many South Indian restaurants. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad, I do not like pani puri. It's not my favorite. I do love like basic Indian stuff like paneer makhani, paneer tikka masala. That's my favorite. So, what about you two?
I liked everything. I can't think of anything. The only thing that I'm veering a little bit away from the question would be like Americanized Chinese food. That's pretty much it. I remember first moving here, and my dad owned a restaurant, and I remember looking at the menu. I mean, after I learned how to read English, I looked at the menu and I was like, "What the hell is a Warsu guy?" So yeah, that doesn't really answer it, but yeah.
Yeah, all of the Thai food I've had, I first had made by my mother, so it's all been perfect.
Good answer. We'll clip that for sure. But I am curious, like, are there dishes from our cultures that you'd want other people to try? So, like, I went to a restaurant with a couple of my white friends, and they asked me to give them recommendations for what to get on the menu. And I gave them, as a vegetarian, you know, I don't eat the meat stuff, so I told them like things like dal makhani and other things like that that are good to order that aren't traditional. Vegetable jalfrezi, those are good things. What are some things in your cultures that you tell people to order?
I tell them to order this is pre-vegan day, so I would tell them to order in Cantonese gong chao hall, which is like these fat rice noodles stir-fried with beef. And then at Northeast now I'm vegan. I tell them to go. There's a restaurant called Northeast Chinese.
Have y'all been?
Yes.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Yeah. So I tell all my friends when they go there, get the fern root noodles and get the spicy fried tofu. Yeah.
I always recommend Gapao Mu Kai Dao. So Gapao, my mom's gonna kill me if I get this wrong. The Gapao refers to like the Thai, basically what is the Thai flavor of it all, like the spices, and the mu is pork, and then and there's rice, and then the kai is the egg that's on top. So I feel like I grew up, I lived in a college town, and everybody gets Thai food all the time, but it's always like pad Thai. It's always like something, it's that's like I guess the entry level. So I always recommend that one after.
Okay. Johnny's mom, where are you? Are you over there? Did he pronounce that correctly?
We went over it today. I typed it phonetically in my phone. I said it out loud.
You prepared in everything, Johnny. That's embarrassing. Okay. I have a couple more questions for all of us, and maybe this is more for you, but Johnny, feel free to chime in. Anthony Bourdain told people not to order fish on Mondays in his book Kitchen Confidential. Kitchen Confidential fans, what up? In the back. Hey. He said not to order fish on Mondays because the chef didn't sell enough fish over the weekend, so it's probably old. So I was curious, what are similar tips you'd recommend to us when ordering from restaurants?
Yes, specials. They're not all bad, but they tend to be things that's been sitting around for a little bit. But it's not all bad though. But I guess as like vegetarian, vegans in the room, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you just want vegetables, just make sure to ask they don't use like chicken broth or chicken broth powder. I think that's what it is. They love stir frying with like broth powder. Is that the word? I don't know. Bouillon. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah.
Oh, I know nothing about food. My mom's afraid if she teaches me, I'll stop visiting home. So, to eat food.
Big food. All right, we have two more questions. This one's from the audience, and they said, what's your biggest fear in life currently? I think my fear is this person who asked this question.
Capitalism.
I won't up you. Nuclear war.
Okay. So I'm trying this new thing called, what did I call this? It's a new thing along with this new thing that we're doing here. It's called the spice test. Woo! Oh. So I'm gonna ask both of them what their spiciest take is on a topic, or a topic that I've previously asked them about. And then we're all gonna rate on the Scoville scale how spicy their take is. So, Tofu Louie, you said that you have a spicy take on voting.
Wait.
Oh, sorry, Johnny, that was Tofu Louie. You said you have a spicy take. You have a spicy take on rice, and I promise this is not racist.
brown rice is better than white rice. Oh, yeah, okay. I wasn't sure about that. But I think most Eastern Asian and maybe Southern Asian people would disagree. And that's a hot take. I know in my recent memory that talking to my Malaysian friend Jin, and I was like, Jin, I've gotten older now, my health, so I eat brown rice now. And he just gave me a look. He's just like, nah. We don't do brown rice. It's like, and so yeah, that's my hot take.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we think that's on the Scoville scale a jalapeno or a Carolina Reaper? Or in between? Jalapeno. Okay, jalapeno. How about you? So Johnny, you said that you have a spicy take on voting.
Yeah, so a lot of people think women should be. Okay. Truly, in full sincerity, I think the voting age should be lowered to 16. That's my. There's one applause break. Should I explain why?
Keep it in there? Okay.
It's not that I think 16-year-olds are smart. I don't think they're less dumb than most adults I know. And also they work jobs and they get taxed, so that's why.
All right. On the Scoville scale, from like jalapeno to Carolina Reaper, how spicy is that take?
I was gonna say habanero.
You need a middle one, a habanero.
Yeah, that is, I guess the middle of that. Okay, guys, I thought one of you was going to be like, well, January 6th was pretty cool.
Where's my dad?
All right, everyone, that's been Spice Up Eats. Thank you so much. You just heard him. He's obviously very funny. Again, I'll mention again that all the people he's opened for and worked with, Jeremy Scorsese, Sam Talent. He's been in several festivals, and he's a super hilarious comedian. Please welcome back to the stage, Johnny Mockney.
Hey, keep it going for everybody you've seen tonight. Including Tofu Louie. I think we're friends after tonight. I think I can call him Tofu. It's nice to be here. It's Memorial Day weekend for me. I had a 4-day weekend. I'm a teacher during the day. That's my day job. Thanks. All right, tepid. This is a liberal crowd, right? Where the fuck were the rest of you guys? That's your thing. Like, I say that for you. Teaching is to liberals like cops are to conservatives. I figured that out. Like, you just clap because it's our job. And the thing is, I think teachers and cops, at the end of the day, are exactly the same. We both get paid through tax dollars. We both don't like seeing cell phones out while we're working. Put it away. I love teaching, I do. I teach high school seniors. They are 8 years younger than me. They're the biggest pieces of shit I've ever met my entire life. I remember when the mask mandate dropped at the end of COVID, I took off my mask for the first time, and one of my kids was like, hey, Mr. Mockney, now that I can see your face, I can tell what kind of guy you are. I was like, you can stop there. But he kept going. He was like, oh, you look like you're friends with your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. I don't know if you guys speak 17-year-old asshole, but I think that kid called me a cuck to my face. It's fine, he didn't pass. I won ultimately. It's weird being so close in age to your kids, dude. They have siblings your age sometimes, so like they know your weaknesses. That bothers me. I had a kid this week show up 10 minutes late to class, and before I could say anything, he was like, Mockney, mark me tardy if you're gay. I was like, fuck! It was like, you win this one, kiddo. I don't know what to say that. They get involved in my personal life too. I had a few months ago, I had this breakup, right? And all my kids found out because the picture of my girlfriend disappeared from my desk. They're all fucking detectives now. They're all really good at noticing stuff. So they're like, oh, Makni, what happened to your girlfriend? Don't worry, Makni, we'll find you a new girl. We'll hook you up with somebody. Don't worry, Makni. I was like, guys, that's what parent-teacher conferences are for. I'm gonna fuck all your moms. I've been clocking this class since day one. I know who doesn't have a dad. I'm well aware. I know who doesn't have a dad, and I know who has 2 cool moms. So it's gonna be fine. I'm kidding. I don't actually talk to them that way. I'm very professional. And it's tough, dude. I was at, I chaperoned prom last week, and that is the peak of the kids thinking you're friends, you know? And they would come up and they'd ask, this one kid kept asking really uncomfortable questions. He was clearly really nervous. He had to stay with him, didn't know how to talk to her. And he comes up to me and his first question is, he goes, Makni, you have sex, right? And I didn't know how to answer that question because on one side, I don't want to violate Title IX. I don't want to say anything inappropriate. And on the other side, I don't want him to think I don't fuck. So it was a real tightrope that I had to walk. So I settled on the answer was, I don't kiss and tell, brother, which definitely sounds like I don't fuck. But then it was like, the rest of his questions I just couldn't answer because they were so they were the most ridiculous questions on the topic. I felt like the one question he asked after that, his follow-up was like, do you usually talk to a girl before you have sex with her? I was like, no, I usually win her over with my Charlie Chaplin impression. What do you... I walk up like, you know, it's pretty good. This is a pretty good Chaplin. No, it's, I don't know if you know this about public school, but we're broke. We have no money left, and I'm terrified that 10 years from now I'm gonna have to do ad breaks in my lesson plans. I'll be teaching Catcher in the Rye. I'll be like, Holden Caulfield seems pretty depressed. Sounds like he could have used better help. Like, oh, your mad school lunch is like, oh, try Factor. I am an English teacher, and I love that for the most part. The worst days are when you have to read like an old book out loud, you know, because if you don't remember the books you read in high school, they're dense, big sentences, long words, handful of racial slurs. But I'm proactive. If I'm reading out loud, I go through ahead of time. I cross off all the N-words so I can see them coming. I'll skip over them while I'm reading. But when it's time for the kids to read, it's in God's hands. Sometimes the white kid's reading, I'm like, if he dies, he dies. Sometimes the black kid's reading, he'll add N-words that were there before. Suddenly Lord of the Flies is a much more racially charged book. I remember being. I think the biggest way my job is being impacted by the current presidential administration is DEI training went away. And to be honest, I'm kind of okay with that. And the reason is I am the only teacher of color in the entire school. So DEI training was just about me. It was just here's how you work with this guy. That's all my white colleagues would explain racism to me. Look, I know there's a lot of you here right now, but we got to do something about the white libs. They get out of control sometimes. You know, like I remember going to see Oppenheimer with my white friend. This is important, this story. We were walking out and I was like, oh, it's a good movie. And he was like, yeah, man, I just wish there was more Japanese representation. I was like, okay, go on. He was like, you know, considering it's about the A-bomb, I would like to have seen more Asian people in the movie. And I was like, oh, doing what? Turning to dust? Like, this guy was like, I'm so progressive, I want to see the Japs get cooked. On beautiful IMAX. That's the music cue I always do after that joke. It's such a killer. No, the white libs they're very well-meaning, I think. They are. But I remember during COVID when the lab leak theory came out. And if you don't know, the lab leak theory was that it came from a lab in Wuhan. And whatever you think about that theory, a bunch of my white liberal friends were like, no, that's racist. It's racist to think it came from a lab. What actually happened is it came from those fucking disgusting Chinese markets. I was like, all right, I'm no Cornel West here, but I feel like that's more racist between the two things. No, I was talking about my mom earlier. Give it up for my mother. I've tried to get more in touch with my Asian side over the years and learning more about my mom. She's had an amazing life. She moved when she was 8 years old, moved from a small village in Thailand to Detroit, right off of 8 Mile. My mom tried crack in middle school and then decided she didn't like it. Do you understand? My mom got on and off crack by the time she was 14. If you offered my mother crack today, she'd be like, crack? What is this, 8th grade? Like it's a whippet or something. And then her brother, my uncle, used to beat up Eminem. You never hear about that. You'll hear about all the white guys and black guys that beat him up. Never hear about the one scrappy Asian dude that took him to town. Because he's embarrassed. My 5'4" uncle stood over him like, oh, come here, Marshall. Like, oh, I'm curious from Sydney. He doesn't talk like that. I don't know why I gave him that voice. Look, I deal with Asian voice a lot. A lot of white guys do Asian voice at me, and it's always my friends. And the thing is, I know when a white guy's about to do Asian voice because his face changes, you know? He does that like, oh, like that inquisitive grunt that we always do. And I laugh every time. It's like, I don't know what to do about it. This might be controversial. I got my teaching degree at Michigan State University. Cool, all right. Good. Well, hang on. I don't like my college. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything more lame than liking your own college. Like, imagine if you got robbed blind by an institution for 4 years straight, and you still rooted for their fucking football team. Like if the IRS had a football team, would you guys root for them? Would you wear a crew neck sweater with your landlord's face on it? Just be like, I support him. I gave him a lot of money. That's not school spirit. That's Stockholm syndrome, actually. I gotta check what time when I went to MSU, I don't know if is anybody in college or recently out of college? Oh, cool. Did you have to do this like online tutorial about consent? Yeah, cool. I didn't. That's weird that they made you do that. No, I'm joking. No, we all did. At MSU, we all had to do it. We had to learn about consent. And I was really indignant when I did that. I was like, yes, I know what consent is. I understand you need permission from somebody before you have sex with them. It's really obvious. And then they started using this phrase that kind of threw me for a loop. They started saying enthusiastic consent. I was like, why are we moving the goalposts here, guys? Like, do you know the last time I was enthusiastic about anything? It was 2009. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was in theaters. I need to get a woman to be Optimus Prime excited to fuck me? That's insane. Like, I get what they're trying to say. I understand. Like, it's just that I hear the word enthusiastic and it does not conjure up images that are congruent with my sex life. Like, I've never...
I've never asked a woman if she wanted to go home with me, and she's been like, "Oh boy, do I?" Like, gee whiz, mister. Thanks. Thank you for coming along with me on that. I appreciate it. We got a little political earlier, and I just want to say, I don't care who you voted for. I truly don't. Just don't act like you like the person you voted for. I think that's what you got to sign in your yard, you fucking loser. Like, you know. Like, most of my friends voted for Joe Biden in 2020, but they're not out here LARPing as fans of the guy. You know? Like, if you voted for Joe Biden and then you also act like you like him, that's kind of like if you got stuck in the desert and had to drink your own pee to survive. And afterwards, you're like, you want to fucking try some? This is pretty good. You can't even taste the corporate donors and the genocide. This just goes down smooth. And there are people who really act like they like him, you know? And they'll be like, oh, Joe Biden's the next FDR. I'm like, yeah, if you swap his brain and his legs, yeah, sure. It's just... No disrespect. Rest in peace. He might have died today. I don't know. Just in case. Rest in peace. Can I talk about Israel, or are you guys gonna freak out at me? Can I? All right. Well, it's one thing. It's related to Biden. I was watching this video of him from last year, and he was talking about Israel, and he said, if there's no Israel, then there will be no safe country for the Jews. And I was like, that's kind of a wild thing to say when you're the president of a country. Because Joe Biden's basically like, yeah, the Jews need a safe place, but not here. Like, not on my turf. You're a Jew, you better stay in Israel. I think that's proof, like Israel is proof that, anti-Semitism won, ultimately. It did, because for the longest time, we didn't have one of these. Then we created a country to send the Jews back to. Like, if you were racist for many years, you had to have your countries in order. You were like, go back to Mexico, go back to Africa, and they'd see a Jew and be like, go back to, the bank? And now they still say that, but they mean the West Bank. It's a little geography for you guys. Thanks, State. I appreciate you coming along on that. I know it's tricky whenever stand-up comedians talk politics, because half of us are transphobic, by the way. Not me. The rest of the lineup tonight, though, they're super. They didn't talk about it, but don't bring up trans rights to Tofu Louie. He'll have some. No, I'm kidding. No, sorry. No. I was on a show one time with this guy, and he was doing this super anti-trans set, and he was like, oh, it's... And then afterwards, like, he was also like a big men's rights guy, too. And he was telling me, he was like, it's so fucking hard to be a man in today's society. I just hate having to be a man. I was like, sounds like you should be trans, dude. What are you talking about? Sounds like your best recourse. I do want to say, I talked a bit before about how I lived in Mississippi, and it was a very important time in my life. It was, I learned a lot there. I learned not to vandalize. That was a big day. It was Devil's Night before Halloween. 2 guys from the track team came up to me, and they were like, hey, Johnny, we're going to TP the superintendent's house tonight. You want to come? I didn't know why 2 fast guys wanted me to join them on a crime. I was just happy to be involved, so we went. We wore masks, and so we got away with it, but they had security cameras, so they saw our bodies. So the next day, Halloween morning, on the school announcements, they were like, we're still looking for the 3 young men who TP'd Dr. Childress's house. Our suspects are 2 athletic males and 1 other male. So, never vandalized again. It was humiliating. I would rather have gotten caught, actually. I'm going to say one thing. It's going to be kind of serious. So I do want to say Mississippi is the only time in my life that somebody was actually racist against me, I think, which is surprising. Scarce amount of racists there. But I was the only Asian kid in the whole school. So what would happen is the white kids and the black kids would team up against me, which is cool that I solved their thing. I think kind of bit of a hero. But I'll never forget, there was this one kid, Tanner, who was especially brutal. We were on the football team together, and he'd like beat me up after practice, and it always bothered me. I never stood up to Tanner for being a racist. Hated Asians for some reason. I never understood it. And years later, I ended up reading Tanner's obituary, and I found out that he died of an opioid overdose. And I don't know if you guys know where opium comes from, but we got him. That's my time, everybody. Thank you so much. Keep it going for Tanya.
Indian Standard Time, Asian Standard Time. We run late, okay? We take things late. You get a bunch of Asians together, we start yapping, okay? But anyways, thank you so much for coming. And like I mentioned, please use the QR codes to sign up for the email list and take our survey. I appreciate it. And I'll choose a couple people for free tickets next time. So thank you so much. Have a good night and drive safe.